everyone. Today, I stand before you to speak about a topic that resonates deeply within my heart. A message that every woman needs to hear, see, and most importantly, believe. In a world that often tries to define us by its narrow standards, we are told who we should be, how we should look, and what we should settle for. But today, I ask you to pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, who am I when no one is watching? We are often told that perfection is the ultimate goal. From a young age, society conditions us to believe that to be accepted, to be loved, and to be successful, we need to fit into a mold that someone else has created. We are shown images of flawless beauty, lives that seem perfectly curated, and achievements that appear effortless. But what we often fail to realize is that this quest for perfection is not only exhausting, but also unattainable. It leaves us feeling inadequate, constantly comparing ourselves to others, and fearing that we will never measure up. But here's the truth that every woman needs to hear. Perfection is an illusion. Life is messy, and so are we. We stumble, we fall, and sometimes we break. But it is in those moments of imperfection that we find our truest selves. Every scar tells a story. Every wrinkle is proof of laughter, and every failure is a lesson that shapes who we are becoming. We are not defined by the filters we place on our lives or the masks we wear to fit in. We are defined by the strength we show in the face of adversity, by the courage it takes to stand up after falling, and by the grace with which we own our flaws. Women are often held to impossible standards, to be strong yet soft, to be ambitious but not too much, to be beautiful but not vain. These contradictions create a constant battle between who we are and who we are expected to be. But what if I told you that your imperfections are not something to hide, but something to celebrate? They are not signs of weakness, but badges of honor that tell the world that you have lived, that you have fought, and that you are still standing. Think about it. The people who inspire us the most are not those who have lived perfect lives. They are the ones who have faced hardships and emerged stronger, who have worn their imperfections like armor and refused to let them define their worth. When we allow ourselves to embrace our imperfections, we free ourselves from the chains of societal expectations. We give ourselves permission to be real, to be vulnerable, and to be unapologetically ourselves. There is immense power in authenticity. When you stop trying to be perfect and start being real, you attract people who resonate with your truth. You inspire others to embrace their flaws because they see courage in your vulnerability. Authenticity is contagious. It creates a ripple effect that encourages others to let go of their own insecurities and stand tall in their truth. But embracing imperfection is not easy. It requires unlearning years of conditioning that taught us to hide our flaws and seek validation from others. It takes courage to look in the mirror and accept what you see, to love the person staring back at you, not despite your flaws but because of them. It is a journey that requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to be kind to yourself, especially on the days when it feels the hardest. Many of us have been taught that vulnerability is a weakness, but in reality, it is our greatest strength. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open the door to connection and healing. We give others permission to do the same, creating a space where imperfection is not just accepted but celebrated. Vulnerability is not a sign that we are weak. It is proof that we are human, that we are brave enough to show the world our true selves. Moreover, embracing imperfection allows us to let go of the constant need for approval. When we stop living for the applause of others, we begin to live for ourselves. We stop seeking validation in places that leave us feeling empty and start finding fulfillment in being true to who we are. And in that authenticity, we discover a sense of freedom that no amount of external validation can provide. There is beauty in the cracks and strength in the broken pieces. Think of a mosaic. It is made up of shattered fragments, yet when pieced together, it creates something breathtakingly beautiful. That is what we are, a collection of experiences, mistakes, triumphs, and lessons that come together to form a masterpiece. Our imperfections are the colors that make us unique, the elements that give depth to our story. It is time for us to redefine what it means to be beautiful. Beauty is not flawless skin or a perfectly curated life. It is the resilience in your eyes after a storm, the compassion in your heart after experiencing pain, and the courage in your voice when you speak your truth. Beauty lies in authenticity, in showing up as you are, without apology or pretense. When you embrace your imperfections, you give yourself the freedom to grow. Growth does not happen in the comfort of perfection. It happens in the messy, unpredictable, and often painful moments of life. It happens when you allow yourself to make mistakes, to learn, and to become stronger because of them. So to every woman who has ever felt like she is not enough, who has looked in the mirror and wished she could change something about herself, remember this: you are enough, exactly as you are. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love, respect, and success. You don't need to hide your flaws to be accepted. Own your story, every imperfect part of it, because it is in those imperfections that your true beauty lies. Dreams are the fuel that ignites the fire within us. They give us a reason to wake up every morning, a purpose to strive for, and a vision that pushes us to move forward, even when the path seems unclear. Yet for so many women, dreams are often seen as luxuries, something to be pursued only after everyone else's needs are met, after every responsibility has been fulfilled, and after society has given its silent permission. We are taught from a young age that dreaming big is dangerous, that ambition in women is something to be tamed, and that chasing dreams is selfish. But here's the truth. Dreams do not discriminate. They do not care about your gender, your background, or where you come from. They belong to those who dare to chase them, to those who refuse to settle for a life that doesn't set their soul on fire. Every woman carries within her the power to turn her dreams into reality. But too often, that power is buried beneath layers of doubt, fear, and societal expectations. We are told to play it safe, to choose the familiar over the unknown, and to stay within the boundaries that others have drawn for us. But playing it safe has never led to greatness. It is in taking risks, in stepping outside of our comfort zones, that we discover who we truly are and what we are capable of. When you dare to dream big, you give yourself permission to grow, to evolve, and to become the person you were always meant to be. Fear is often the biggest enemy of dreams. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, and sometimes even the fear of success hold us back from taking that first step. But let me tell you something. Fear is not a stop sign. It is a sign that you are about to step into something bigger than yourself. Every successful woman who has ever walked this earth has felt fear. But what sets her apart is that she did not let it stop her. She walked through her fear, embraced the uncertainty, and kept moving forward. Because the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of the journey. Every failure teaches you something valuable. It gives you the wisdom, strength, and resilience to face the next challenge with even more courage. We often hold back because we are afraid of what people will say. We fear being judged, ridiculed, or misunderstood. But the opinions of others should never hold more weight than your own dreams. People will always have something to say, whether you succeed or fail, whether you rise or fall. But at the end of the day, it is your life. You are the one who has to live with the regret of not trying, of not giving yourself a chance to see where your dreams could take you. There is something magical that happens when you start believing in yourself. The moment you silence the voice of doubt in your mind and replace it with the voice of possibility, you begin to attract opportunities that align with your vision. The universe has a way of rewarding those who dare to dream and work relentlessly to make those dreams come true. But belief alone is not enough. Dreams require action. They require you to show up every single day, even when the odds are stacked against you. They require you to put in the work, to stay committed when the excitement fades, and to push through when giving up feels easier. And let's not forget, pursuing your dreams does not mean that the journey will be smooth. There will be obstacles, roadblocks, and moments when you question whether it's all worth it. But those moments are the ones that shape you. They teach you resilience, patience, and perseverance. Every time you choose to keep going despite the challenges, you are building the strength that will carry you through the hardest of days. Many women put their dreams on hold because they believe that they need to have everything figured out before they begin. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, and the perfect circumstances. But the truth is, there is no perfect time to start. If you wait for everything to fall into place, you may be waiting forever. The best time to start is now, with what you have, where you are, and with the courage to take that first step. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't need a roadmap that outlines every twist and turn. All you need is the willingness to start and the faith to trust that you will figure things out along the way. Growth happens in the journey, not in the planning. Clarity comes with action, not with waiting. It is also important to remember that your dreams are valid, no matter how big or small they may seem. Whether your dream is to start your own business, write a book, travel the world, or create a positive impact in your community, your dreams matter. They matter because they are an expression of who you are and what you are capable of becoming. Don't diminish your dreams just because they don't fit into someone else's version of success. And as you pursue your dreams, remember that success looks different for everyone. It is not about comparing your journey to someone else's. It is about staying true to yourself, honoring your path, and defining success on your own terms. Don't let society's definition of success dictate what your dreams should look like. You get to decide what makes you feel fulfilled and what brings you joy. To every woman who has ever been told that her dreams are too big, too unrealistic, or too ambitious, know this: you were not born to play small. You were born to break barriers, to defy the odds, and to create a life that reflects your truest desires. Do not let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others keep you from becoming everything you are capable of being. Chase your dreams fearlessly, because when you do, you give other women permission to do the same. Saying no is one of the most powerful things a woman can do, yet it is also one of the hardest. From an early age, many women are taught to be agreeable, to accommodate, and to prioritize the needs of others above their own. We are conditioned to believe that saying yes makes us kind, loving, and respected, while saying no might make us seem selfish, rude, or ungrateful. But the truth is, saying no is not a sign of disrespect. It is an act of self-respect. It is a declaration that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable, and that you have the right to protect them. As women, we are often burdened with the weight of societal expectations that tell us to be everything to everyone. We are expected to juggle multiple roles, to be nurturing mothers, supportive partners, dutiful daughters, and dedicated professionals, all while maintaining a smile and never complaining. We say yes to things that drain us, yes to situations that make us uncomfortable, and yes to people who take more than they give. But what we don't realize is that every time we say yes when we really want to say no, we betray ourselves. Saying no is not about rejecting people. It is about honoring your own boundaries. Boundaries are not walls meant to keep people out. They are lines that define what is acceptable and what is not. They are a reflection of your self-worth and an acknowledgement that your mental, emotional, and physical well-being matter. When you set boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. You show them that your time is precious, that your energy is not infinite, and that your peace is non-negotiable. However, setting boundaries and saying no often comes with a heavy dose of guilt. Many women struggle with the fear of disappointing others, of being seen as unkind or uncooperative. But here's the truth. You are not responsible for managing other people's feelings. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and constantly saying yes to please others will only leave you feeling depleted, resentful, and disconnected from yourself. True kindness does not come from self-sacrifice. It comes from being honest about your limits and taking care of yourself first. Learning to say no is a process that requires unlearning years of conditioning. It means giving yourself permission to prioritize your needs without feeling guilty. It means recognizing that saying no to things that don't align with your values, goals, or well-being is not selfish. It is necessary. Saying no allows you to create space for the things that truly matter, for the relationships that nourish you, and for the dreams that inspire you. When you learn to say no, you also reclaim your power. Every time you say no to something that does not serve you, you are saying yes to yourself. You are choosing to stand up for what you believe in, to protect your peace, and to honor your truth. This is not weakness, it is strength. It takes immense courage to stand firm in your decisions, especially when the world expects you to bend. Many women fear that saying no will lead to rejection, that they will lose relationships or be seen as difficult. But the truth is, the right people will respect your boundaries. Those who truly care about you will understand that saying no is not a reflection of how much you love them, but rather a reflection of how much you love yourself. And if someone cannot respect your boundaries, it is a sign that they do not deserve a place in your life. Saying no also creates room for growth and transformation. When you stop filling your life with things that drain your energy, you create space for things that inspire and fulfill you. You allow yourself to focus on your goals, pursue your passions, and invest in relationships that uplift you. Saying no to what no longer serves you is an invitation for something better to take its place. It is important to remember that no is a complete sentence. You do not owe anyone an explanation, justification, or apology for choosing yourself. You are not obligated to soften your no with excuses or to dilute your truth to make others comfortable. Your no is valid simply because it is yours, and the more you practice saying it, the more empowered you will feel. In a world that constantly asks women to give more, to do more, and to be more, saying no becomes an act of defiance, a way of reclaiming your autonomy, and reminding yourself that you are not here to meet everyone else's expectations. You have the right to protect your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. You have the right to choose yourself without apology or guilt. Saying no also teaches you to trust yourself. It strengthens your intuition and helps you develop a deeper connection with your inner voice. When you listen to that voice and honor what it tells you, you cultivate a sense of self-trust that becomes unshakable. You begin to realize that you don't need validation from others to make decisions that align with your truth. And perhaps most importantly, saying no sets an example for other women. When you choose to prioritize yourself, you give others permission to do the same. You inspire the women around you to honor their boundaries, to protect their peace, and to say no without guilt or fear. In doing so, you create a ripple effect of empowerment that extends beyond yourself. So, to every woman who has ever felt guilty for saying no, remember this. Saying no is not a rejection of others. It is an affirmation of yourself. It is a reminder that your needs matter, that your voice deserves to be heard, and that you have the power to create a life that aligns with your truth. Saying no is not just an act of self-care. It is an act of self-love. And the more you practice it, the more you will realize that choosing yourself is the most powerful thing you can do. Self-love is one of the most profound and transformative journeys a woman can embark on. It is not about vanity, selfishness, or arrogance. It is about recognizing your worth, embracing your imperfections, and giving yourself the compassion you so freely give to others. Yet for many women, self-love feels like an unattainable ideal. We are often taught to put others first, to give endlessly, and to seek validation from the world around us. But the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot truly give love to others if you do not first give it to yourself. Self-love is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. The journey to self-love begins with acceptance. It is about looking in the mirror and acknowledging every part of yourself, the flaws, the scars, the strengths, and the weaknesses, and realizing that you are enough, just as you are. It is about silencing the critical voice in your head that tells you that you are not worthy, not beautiful, or not capable. That voice is not the truth. The truth is that you are a masterpiece, even if you feel like a work in progress. You do not have to be perfect to be deserving of love, happiness, and success. Self-love is also about setting boundaries and protecting your energy. It is about recognizing that your time, emotions, and mental well-being are precious, and that you have the right to say no to anything that drains you or takes away from your peace. Too often, women feel guilty for prioritizing themselves, for saying no, or for taking time to rest. But self-love means understanding that taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is essential. You cannot show up as the best version of yourself for others if you are constantly running on empty. Loving yourself also means being kind to yourself, especially on the hard days. It means offering yourself the same compassion and understanding that you offer to a friend who is struggling. We are often our own harshest critics, quick to judge ourselves for our mistakes and shortcomings. But true self-love is about treating yourself with gentleness, patience, and forgiveness. It is about acknowledging that growth is a journey and that you are allowed to make mistakes. Learn from them and move forward. Another essential aspect of self-love is letting go of the need for external validation. Too often, we tie our worth to the opinions of others, to how we look, to what we achieve, and to whether or not we are accepted by those around us. But seeking validation from the outside world is a never-ending cycle that leaves us feeling empty and unfulfilled. True self-love comes when you realize that your worth is not determined by anyone else. It is something that comes from within, from knowing who you are and standing confidently in that truth. When you begin to love yourself, you also begin to set higher standards for how you are treated. You no longer tolerate relationships that drain you, situations that diminish your worth, or environments that stifle your growth. Self-love teaches you that you deserve respect, kindness, and love that is unconditional. It gives you the strength to walk away from anything that does not align with your highest good, knowing that you are enough on your own. Self-love is not just about how you feel about yourself. It is also about how you take care of yourself. It is about nourishing your body, mind, and soul. It means feeding yourself foods that give you energy, moving your body in ways that make you feel strong, and giving yourself rest when you need it. It means feeding your mind with positive thoughts, surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, and engaging in activities that bring you joy. It is about creating a life that reflects your values, passions, and dreams. But self-love is not always easy. It requires unlearning years of conditioning that taught you to seek approval from others, to put yourself last, and to believe that your worth is tied to how much you do for others. It requires confronting your fears, facing your insecurities, and doing the inner work to heal from the wounds that have made you doubt your worth. Self-love is not a destination. It is a lifelong journey of growth, discovery, and acceptance. One of the most powerful things that happens when you embrace self-love is that you begin to radiate confidence. When you know your worth, you carry yourself differently. You walk into rooms with your head held high, not because you are arrogant, but because you are rooted in the truth of who you are. Confidence is not about being the loudest in the room. It is about being so secure in your own value that you do not need to prove it to anyone else. And as you cultivate self-love, you inspire others to do the same. When you show up authentically, unapologetically, and with a heart full of self-compassion, you create a ripple effect that encourages other women to embrace their own worth. You become a living example of what is possible when you choose to love yourself fully. Self-love also gives you the courage to chase your dreams. When you believe in yourself and recognize your own power, you stop waiting for permission to go after what you want. You stop settling for less than you deserve and start creating the life you have always dreamed of. Self-love gives you the confidence to take risks, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to trust that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Moreover, self-love teaches you to be patient with yourself. Growth takes time, and healing does not happen overnight. There will be days when you doubt yourself, when old insecurities creep back in, and when loving yourself feels harder than ever. But self-love means showing up for yourself, even on those days. It means choosing to be kind to yourself, even when it feels difficult. To every woman who has ever felt like she is not enough, who has been told that she has to be perfect to be worthy of love and success, you are enough just as you are. You do not have to earn love. You do not have to prove your worth. You are worthy simply because you exist. And when you choose to love yourself, you give yourself the greatest gift of all, the freedom to be who you are always meant to be. Lifting other women up is not just an act of kindness. It is a revolutionary act that has the power to change the world. In a society that often pits women against one another, where competition is encouraged over collaboration, and where success is sometimes seen as a limited resource, choosing to empower and support other women is an act of courage and defiance. It is a declaration that we refuse to buy into the narrative that one woman's success takes away from another's. Instead, we recognize that when one woman rises, we all rise. Too often, women are conditioned to see each other as rivals, whether it's in the workplace, in relationships, or even in social settings. We are taught that there is only so much room at the top, and that to succeed, we must outshine, outperform, and outdo one another. But this scarcity mindset is a lie that keeps women divided and prevents us from reaching our full potential. There is room for all of us to succeed. There is no limit to how much greatness the world can hold. And when we choose to support one another, we amplify that greatness. When women support women, incredible things happen. We create spaces where we can be seen, heard, and valued. We build communities where vulnerability is not a weakness but a strength, where we can share our struggles, celebrate our victories, and lift each other through the challenges. In these spaces, we remind each other that we are not alone, that our voices matter, that our stories deserve to be told, and that our dreams are valid. Lifting other women up does not diminish your own light. It makes the world brighter for everyone. When you cheer for another woman's success, you are not giving away your power. You are expanding it. You are contributing to a culture where women no longer feel the need to dim their light to make others comfortable. Instead, you create a world where every woman feels empowered to shine as brightly as she can. But supporting other women goes beyond words. It requires action. It means advocating for women in spaces where their voices are often silenced or overlooked. It means using your platform, your influence, and your privilege to create opportunities for those who may not have them. It means mentoring, guiding, and sharing your knowledge and experiences to help others navigate their own journeys. In the workplace, supporting other women means recognizing their contributions, amplifying their ideas, and ensuring that they have a seat at the table. It means celebrating their achievements publicly and privately, and standing up for them when they are treated unfairly. It means pushing for equal opportunities, fair pay, and a culture where every woman feels safe, valued, and respected. But supporting women is not just about professional spaces. It is about everyday interactions. It is about choosing to speak kindly of other women, refusing to engage in gossip, and rejecting the culture of tearing others down. It is about celebrating each other's victories, big and small, and being genuinely happy for the success of others. It is about showing up for each other in moments of joy and in moments of pain, and being a source of strength and encouragement. One of the most powerful things we can do as women is to create spaces where other women feel safe to be their authentic selves. Spaces where they can share their dreams without fear of judgment, where they can express their vulnerabilities without being seen as weak, and where they can embrace their imperfections without feeling inadequate. When we create these spaces, we give each other permission to be real, to be human, and to grow. We also have a responsibility to extend our support to women who may not have the same privileges and opportunities. Empowering women means acknowledging that not all women face the same challenges and that true empowerment requires inclusivity. It means standing in solidarity with women of different races, backgrounds, and experiences, and using our voices to advocate for those whose voices have been marginalized for far too long. Empowering other women also means recognizing that we are stronger together. Collaboration, not competition, is the key to collective progress. When women come together, we become a force that is unstoppable. We bring diverse perspectives, unique strengths, and innovative ideas to the table. And when we work together, we create solutions that benefit not just ourselves, but entire communities. There is no greater feeling than knowing that you have been a part of another woman's success story. Whether it's through offering words of encouragement, providing mentorship, or simply believing in someone when they doubted themselves, your support can be the catalyst that helps another woman rise. Your belief in another woman's potential can inspire her to believe in herself. And as we lift each other up, we set an example for future generations. We show young girls that they do not have to compete to be seen, that they do not have to tear each other down to succeed, and that they are stronger when they stand together. We teach them that empowerment is not a zero-sum game, that lifting someone else up does not take anything away from them. We must also remember that empowering other women does not mean that we have to be perfect. You do not need to have it all figured out to be a source of support and inspiration for someone else. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can offer is your authenticity, your willingness to share your struggles, your lessons, and your journey. When you show up as your true self, you give others permission to do the same. To every woman who has ever felt alone in her journey, who has questioned her worth, or who has doubted her ability to succeed, know this: you are not alone. There is a community of women who are ready to stand beside you, to lift you up, and to walk with you through every challenge and triumph. And when you succeed, your success becomes a beacon of hope and possibility for countless others. So, to every woman reading this, choose to be a woman who lifts other women, Choose to be a source of encouragement, a voice of support, and a light in someone else's journey. Because when we lift each other up, we are not just changing individual lives, we are changing the world. And that, my dear, is the kind of legacy that lasts forever. In conclusion, every woman deserves to know that she is powerful beyond measure, that her voice matters, and that her dreams are valid. The journey of self-discovery, self-love, and empowerment is not always easy, but it is worth it. When a woman chooses to rise, to speak her truth, to set boundaries, and to embrace her worth, she does not just change her own life, she creates a ripple effect that inspires others to do the same. Saying no is not an act of rejection, but an affirmation of self-respect. Loving yourself is not a luxury, but a necessity that allows you to show up fully for the world. And when you lift other women, you are not just creating a community of empowered individuals. You are shaping a future where women are no longer confined by limitations imposed by society. To every woman who has ever doubted her worth, questioned her abilities, or felt alone in her journey, know that you are enough just as you are. Your story, your struggles, and your triumphs have the power to inspire others. By embracing your authentic self, honoring your boundaries, and supporting those around you, you contribute to a world where women stand together, stronger and more unstoppable than ever. So rise, speak, love yourself fiercely, and lift others as you climb. Because when women stand together, there is no limit to what we can achieve. The future is brighter, bolder, and more beautiful when we choose to rise, not alone, but together.